All right, listen up, pipsqueaks. A lot of people are talking about Bitcoin right now, and it's fair enough. Okay, Bitcoin's breaking a very big macro structure. We discussed it all yesterday. We also discussed the fact that for 100% full confirmation of that macro structure breaking, we would need a weekly candle close over 69,000. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to wait for that to happen in order to buy. It just means what I said. For the confirmation of the structure breaking, we need the confirmation to occur, which is the weekly candle close above 69,000. Why is that? Well, that's because the weekly level is 69,000, which stems back from 2021. Very, very clear stuff here. 2 rejections on the weekly candle. That is the level. That's the level we need to break. So we know about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, right now, being in a short-term triangle formation, it's actually just broken the downside. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see a Bitcoin correction down to something like 70,000, maybe even something like 69,000. And the question is, well, what happens to altcoins there? Because that's the topic of the video. And altcoins, of course, have lagged behind a bit on this move as Bitcoin's moved upwards. You know, Bitcoin's seen a big leg here, a leg all the way from pretty much down at 64K. It's moved upwards about 13%. And in that period of time, the total 3 cryptocurrency market cap, if we go to the daily chart, so the chart that measures the entire market cap of the altcoin market broadly, has basically barely moved. I mean, it's equally where it was where Bitcoin started its move up from 64. Like, yes, it went down to support. Yes, it held that support on the daily chart. That's great to see. It formed a higher low. It's coming up to test resistance. But, you know, the fact of the matter is Bitcoin broke out and altcoins did absolutely nothing whatsoever. In fact, Bitcoin dominance continued surging to the upside. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw a breakout of this weekly chart, triangle formation on Bitcoin dominance, a massive surge to the upside on Bitcoin dominance. So it's a Bitcoin dominant market right now. Bitcoin has led the way and altcoins are yet to do anything at all, really. And the same thing can be said about Ethereum. So although it's a great week for Bitcoin, nothing's happened for altcoins, nothing happened for Ethereum. And the question is, well, when will those moves start to happen? When will we see altcoins start to catch up? What will we see in the short term? You know, if Bitcoin corrects here, what's going to happen to alts? Well, I actually think they're going to get pretty badly kind of attacked here, pretty badly demolished. But on a more longer term basis, I think an altcoin season is literally just around the corner here. And we can look at that from a cyclical perspective and get a very clear answer. So we'll look into all of that today, just a broad altcoin market update as we head into quite an interesting market environment with a bull market brewing here. An altcoin season would be, something we're going to discuss more and more often. That's what we're going to be doing. So let's start it off today. Sorry for the long introduction. I'll try and keep the rest of the video snappy and simplistic. Just one thing before we get into it, guys. The Bitcoin exchange and the Blowfin exchange. These 2 exchanges I advertise on this YouTube channel. I've advertised Bitcoin for literally over a year now. I use that exchange personally on a daily basis. With that referral link down below in the description, you can find my 15% trading fee discount. All you need to do is sign up with that link and get that 15% trading fee discount attached to your account on Bitcoin. Alternatively, you can go to Blowfin if you want. The links are down there. These are both global non-KYC exchanges. They've both never been hacked before. They've both got hundreds of trading pairs. You cannot go wrong, and my links are down there to help you out getting better deals on those signups. So check them out down below. Let's get into the content. So Bitcoin surge to the upside. We'll start out with the short term and altcoins here. Bitcoin surge to the upside. We do have some hidden resistance here for Bitcoin. First and foremost, we haven't seen the confirmation of the macro move yet. So any sort of movements we're seeing here are kind of it's an unconfirmed breakout at this point. And I think, that's leading to a little bit of weakness here. We've come right up to the prior all-time high at 74K. Saw kind of like a rejection from it, heading downwards right now. Also a rejection from a very important daily chart RSI level, which is a bit of a hidden level. You can see it right here in yellow, stems back from May, acting as support on a couple of occasions and now as resistance on a few occasions. We tested that, rejected, we're coming down. We could go down to something like this. There's a support line right here. Could be a little bit of an extensive drop to come here. That could take Bitcoin, as I mentioned in the introduction. If we look at the short-term charts, pennant formations breaking to the downside very aggressively as we speak right now, as well as, breaking back below a previously very strong pink resistance line, which we could have flipped the support, but we failed to do so. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Bitcoin went down to something like 70K, maybe even down to 69K, retesting the 2021 all-time high. That would still be good enough for Bitcoin to maintain above 69K and get a good weekly candle close. It wouldn't be a macro failure. The breakout would still occur. It would just be a healthy retracement after a big move. After such a big channel formation with broken, resistance support flipping it would actually be a very, very bullish thing to see. It would be a great high low to place before we head back to the upside. So it's not off the table here at all for Bitcoin, to go downwards and see a short-term correction. And if it does that, what does that mean for altcoins? Because that's the topic today. Well, Unfortunately, it would be pretty bad for altcoins. Altcoins lagged on this move. We know that. We established that in the introduction. They lagged on this move very, very massively. It was Bitcoin focused. Everyone was looking at the Bitcoin chart. They were looking at the Bitcoin channel. No one really cared about altcoins in this move. That was displayed very clearly in how this move went. But unfortunately, if Bitcoin does go down, we won't see the altcoin market not getting any attention, okay? Bitcoin going down always without fail affects the altcoin market much worse than itself, except for in an altcoin season. We are not there yet, as you can see very clearly on Bitcoin dominance. So during this Bitcoin correction, I do expect altcoins to see their final correction to the downside, pretty much down to this yellow line, retesting that yellow line, potentially even a wick, a fake out wick below it. Something pretty brutal could happen here. I mean, look, the real support on the total 3 is not really this support line on the price chart. It's actually this weekly chart support line in the RSI. I think that's been very clearly established. I mean, this is what stems backwards 2.5 years now from June 2022 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retests. That's the line we need to be holding. Now, am I saying we're to go all the way back down to that line? I don't know, but what I do know is that altcoins don't look absolutely terrible until that line actually breaks. So as long as we hold that line, we're fine. So that's what I'm looking at. And if Bitcoin does correct here, I do expect an aggressive correction on altcoins. So short term for altcoins doesn't look particularly good. If you're looking to buy altcoins, maybe, I don't think now's the time at all, actually. I really don't, because we aren't even in a confirmed altcoin season yet. And we haven't even confirmed the macro breakout on Bitcoin. So you're just jumping the gun a little bit. I think you'd rather wait, first of all, for Bitcoin to macro breakout, and second of all, for actual clear signs of a Bitcoin dominance top and of a total 3 cryptocurrency market cap breakout above its clear structured horizontal resistance. There'd be no reason to enter before that occurs, just at all, really. I mean, you're not even going to be seeing really many exceptions. I mean, this is a very small move required here. I mean, we just need to move another 6%, 7% broadly on the altcoin market. You're not going to be missing too much there. And the amount of security you're going to get by waiting just is ridiculously large in comparison. But hey, look, every time I tell people the logical thing as per 101 basic TA, when it comes to altcoins, they just call me a perma bear in the comments. So look, if you want to call me a perma bear, you can go ahead. I'm just reading the charts objectively. Horizontal resistance stems backwards from May this year. No clear altcoins moves at the moment. Bitcoin dominance is still in an aggressive upwards trend. If you think that's a clear sign to buy altcoins, I don't know what charts you're looking at. For me personally, you'd want to see the total 3 break out above its recent highs, form that upwards trend properly, form the rounding bottom and break the neckline. That would be an ultimately clear buying signal. And you want to be seeing Bitcoin dominance top out, at least show some signs of topping out, reach this weekly chart resistance zone right here, reach 63%, something like that. It doesn't really matter what it reaches, as long as it breaks down, that's what you want to see. So the question is, okay, short term, maybe it's not time to buy yet. Maybe we see, some more pain on altcoins. Cool. But when do we expect the altcoin season to start? That's the big question. Like, we can go through these short-term scenarios all we want. It doesn't really matter. We're talking about a macro bull market. We're talking about a macro altcoin season. We need to know when it will start. And this is where we can get a very direct analysis. All we need to do is understand, first and foremost, that when Bitcoin dominance goes downwards, that is an altcoin season. Okay, Bitcoin dominance dropping, that is an altcoin season. That represents a clear period of time where altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin on a generalized scale, and it only happens in bull markets. Okay, if there's a bear market in cryptocurrency, altcoins do not outperform Bitcoin because people are flocking into Bitcoin for safety and security. They're not looking for 100x altcoin gems on freaking coin market cap, okay? That's not what people do in a bear market. Altcoins only do well against Bitcoin when there is euphoria and greed in the market, which is synonymous with a bull market on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance going down is the only thing you actually need to look for an altcoin season. And historically speaking, if we're talking cyclically, there is an exact moment in time in which altcoin seasons begin, okay, in which Bitcoin dominance starts to go down. Now, on the chart right now, you'll see the Bitcoin chart, and you'll see the Bitcoin dominance chart in red overlaid on top of it. Now, notice, when altcoin season begins, I'm going to draw vertical lines at the beginning of altcoin seasons. Notice what happens to Bitcoin, okay? That's the beginning of altcoin seasons, those 2 vertical lines, historically speaking. Both of those altcoin seasons began at the exact moment, pretty much, that Bitcoin broke its price cycle all-time high, okay? At the exact moment, on both occasions. So, therefore, if we're just doing basic cyclical extrapolation, we know for a fact that the 74K all-time high breakout was a fake out, as to why we've seen 7.5 months of consolidation, okay, to get back on track to where we need to be cyclically after that ridiculously early move in the cycle. So that was an irrelevant breakout of the prior all-time high. The prior all-time high being here at 69K. We are breaking that right now properly, okay? Therefore, if we're looking historically, what did I just say? I just said that the altcoin season begins at the prior all-time high breakout, or at least around it within a few weeks. We're doing that right now. And so from a cyclical perspective, if we're looking at the price cycles for data for evidence and extrapolating it forward, if we're seeing a regular 4-year cycle here, right now basically should be when altcoin season begins. Now, that's excellent. That's great news because it means altcoin season is probably right around the corner. But again, we wait for confirmation, okay? Confirmation being some sort of resistance, some sort of short-term downwards trend developing, some sort of rolling over. When that occurs, we can be sure, okay, this is exactly what's happening, just like the previous cycles. Therefore, it's time to go heavy into altcoins and reap the rewards of an altcoin season. Just because the trend suggests something is going to occur doesn't mean it actually will. It just means it's likely going to occur. You still need that extra confirmation that it actually is occurring, okay? So altcoin season on a cyclical level, I'll just reiterate, is meant to be starting pretty much right now. I mean, that's very exciting, right? The thing we've been waiting for years and years, basically the number one thing that brings people into cryptocurrency in altcoin season is meant to be starting around right now. Now, again, we need that confirmation of it, but that's very exciting stuff. So the overall outlook for the altcoin market is pretty much short-term, being cautiously optimistic, not being too hype in the short term. We could see a pullback. We could see one more significant pull down. We're not really broken out yet. But also, again, with that cautiously optimistic, not leaving out the optimism. I mean, the optimism is very clearly there. We're right at the critical breakout point. All we need to do is move upwards a little bit more. And cyclically speaking, we're on the edge of an altcoin season actually beginning here. So cautious optimism is the name of the game for altcoins. And as a matter of fact, that's probably the name of the game for Bitcoin as well at the moment, given the fact that it's an unconfirmed breakout at this point in time. But this market is looking better and better by the day, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. If we do see that altcoin season trigger, I'll be the first to talk about it. Do not worry about that. And we'll discuss potentially some altcoins in this YouTube channel. Not fully decided there yet. We'll see how it goes. Guys, thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed. As I said yesterday and the day before, comment anything. Comment for the algorithm. Comment love or hate or anything. I don't care what you comment, just comment anything. A lot of people are actually commenting the word anything. Do whatever you want. It really helps the algorithm. Just takes 30 seconds of your time and it really helps me out, and it shows me that you guys like the video or whatever. So I appreciate that. Like, subscribe, comment. Also check out those exchanges if you want to. You don't have to, of course. The links are down below. I've handpicked these exchanges myself. I use Bitunix myself. Get those trading fee discounts. Use those links to sign up if you're interested. And the last thing I'll mention to you, which a lot of you will find interesting, is my VIP group on Telegram. Maybe you want to join it, okay? We post altcoin trading signals 4 times a week. They have a 78.32% win rate over the course of 2 years of historical trading results. It's all transparent in a PDF document. So you can check that out if you're interested, guys. I appreciate that. Catch you in there. So have a good one, guys. Thank you.